Summer is a super productive time in the veggie garden. And even as we slide into autumn, I've still got leftover summer favourites, including tomatoes, basil, onions, and watermelon. The transition between seasons at this time of year can be tricky. Cooler weather is undoubtedly on the way, but there are still productive summer crops in the ground, and warm days are still common. I call this the in-between period, and I'm going to share a couple of simple ideas to make the most of it. Let's start with these Tommy Toe tomatoes, which have been super productive for months. We've feasted on them, we've made sauce out of the surplus. They're still going okay and will keep cropping for a few more weeks, so I'm going to leave them in there. In the next bed on these stakes, I had Grosse Lisse tomatoes. Now they finished up a few weeks ago. I've already pulled out the plants and composted them, and now I'm going to plant beans. It's a bit too early for me to plant winter legumes like peas and broad beans. So I'm putting in a late crop of warm season beans, starting with climbing beans on the poles. There's no preparation here, just pull back the mulch and sow. Alongside, I'm making furrows and planting bush beans, which are more compact and don't need a trellis. It's a bit unconventional to grow these beans this late, but they're quick growing, will fix nitrogen in the soil and improve it for the next crop. It costs me nothing other than some leftover seed, and if we have a warm autumn, I should get a decent crop. I've got some spare real estate in the next bed along, and in there I'm going to plant celery and rainbow chard, which are repeat cropping plants, and they'll produce well over the next few months. These are hungry plants, so I'll need to build up the soil using homemade compost, aged chicken manure, and a sprinkle of blood and bone. Then work it all in with a fork. I've spaced these chard and celery seedlings about 40 centimetres apart, and regular picking of the stems will stop them crowding. A few hot days could knock these young seedlings over, so I have these shade tunnels on hand to provide some shelter until they're established. They're really easy to make from some fencing wire and 50% shade cloth, meaning enough sunlight and air gets through for the seedlings to thrive. There's a couple of simple hacks to help you straddle the seasons. The main thing is be creative to keep your patch productive. The space is too precious not to.